The Still Foundation, a guide to unshakable inner peace. Imagine you are standing in the middle of a busy train station. It is rush hour. Thousands of people are running past you. The loudspeakers are shouting announcements. Trains are screeching on the tracks. Phones are ringing. It is loud, chaotic, and stressful. Now imagine that inside you, despite all this noise, there is a quiet room. In this room, there is no noise. There is no rush. There is only a comfortable chair and a feeling of complete safety. You can watch the chaos of the train station, but you are not disturbed by it. This is the misunderstanding most people have about peace. We are often taught that peace means going to a quiet beach, sitting on top of a mountain, or living in a forest where nothing ever goes wrong. We think peace is the absence of noise or the absence of trouble. But this is impossible. The world will always be noisy. There will always be bills to pay, traffic jams, and difficult people. If your peace depends on the world being quiet, you will never be peaceful. True inner peace is not the absence of the storm. It is the calm at the center of the storm. In our architecture of the soul, if joy is the light coming through the windows, and sadness is the rain that waters the garden, then inner peace is the foundation. It is the concrete base that holds the house together. If the foundation is strong, the house does not shake when the wind blows. If the foundation is weak, even a small storm can destroy us. Today's episode is a blueprint for building that foundation. It will explore how to find silence in a noisy world, how to stop fighting with reality, and how to carry a portable sanctuary with you wherever you go. Part 1. What is inner peace? To understand peace, let's look at the ocean. The ocean has two parts. The surface is constantly changing. It has huge waves, foam, and wind. It is affected by the weather. This represents our daily emotions and the events of our life. But if you go deep down, 20 meters below the surface, the water is different. It is silent. It is still. Even if there is a hurricane up above, the deep water remains calm. Inner peace is the ability to sink down to that deep level. It is a state of psychological and spiritual stability. It does not mean you don't feel emotions. You can still feel happy, sad, or excited on the surface. But underneath, there is a sense of okayness. It is a deep knowing that I am safe, and I can handle this. Psychologists call this equanimity. It is a mental state where you are not pushing away the bad things, and you are not desperately grabbing the good things. You are balanced. You are the mountain that watches the clouds pass by, but does not move with the clouds. Part 2. The enemy of peace. If peace is our natural state, like the deep ocean, why is it so hard to feel it? What blocks us? Eastern philosophers and modern psychologists agree on the culprit, the monkey mind. Imagine a monkey in a tree. It jumps from branch to branch, screaming, eating a banana, throwing the peel, and never sitting still. This is your mind. It jumps to the past. Why did I say that stupid thing yesterday? I regret my choice. It jumps to the future. What if I lose my job? What if I get sick? What if I am late? The monkey mind is addicted to what if. It tells you stories all day long. It creates problems that do not exist yet. Research shows that the average human has about 60,000 thoughts a day. And sadly, about 80% of them are negative or repetitive. This constant mental noise creates anxiety. It creates a background hum of stress. Inner peace begins when we realize a shocking truth. You are not the monkey. You are the person watching the monkey. When you can listen to your own thoughts and say, "Oh, my mind is worrying again," without believing the worry, you create space. In that space, peace can enter. Part 3. The Art of Control. One of the most practical tools for achieving inner peace comes from the ancient philosophy of Stoicism. It is a tool called the dichotomy of control. The concept is very simple. but it changes lives. It says that everything in the world can be divided into two piles. Pile A. Things I can control. My thoughts, my actions, my words, my effort. Pile B. Things I cannot control. The weather, the economy, the traffic, what other people think of me, the past. Most of our stress comes from trying to control Pile B. We yell at the traffic, but the cars do not move. We worry about what our boss thinks, but we cannot read his mind. We regret the past, but we cannot change it. This is a waste of energy. It is like trying to hold back the tide with a spoon. There is a famous analogy of the archer. An archer can choose the best bow. He can clean the arrow. He can practice his aim. He can pull the string back perfectly. This is Pile A, his effort. But the moment the arrow leaves the bow, he has no control. The wind might blow. The target might move. This is Pile B. A peaceful person focuses entirely on the shooting, the process, not the target, the outcome. To achieve peace, you must practice this every day. When you feel stressed, ask yourself, is this in my control? If the answer is no, you must practice acceptance. You say, it is what it is. If the answer is yes, you practice action. You do something about it. Peace is found in the wisdom to know the difference. Part 4. The Poison of Resistance. There is a simple formula for suffering that many psychologists use. Pain times resistance equals suffering. Pain is inevitable. You will get a headache. You will lose your keys. Someone will be rude to you. This is pain, 10%. Resistance is your reaction to the pain. It is the voice in your head screaming, this shouldn't be happening. Why me? I hate this. It's not fair. This is resistance. If you have a headache, pain level 3, and you accept it, take a pill and rest, your suffering is level 3. But if you have a headache, pain level 3, and you are angry about it, worried it will ruin your day, and fighting the reality of it, you multiply the pain. Your suffering becomes level 10. Inner peace comes from dropping the resistance. This is a concept called radical acceptance. It does not mean you like the bad situation. It does not mean you give up. It simply means you stop arguing with reality. If it is raining, you don't scream at the sky. You accept the rain, and you get an umbrella. When you stop fighting what is, you have huge amounts of energy left to improve your life. There is a Taoist story that illustrates this beautifully. Imagine you are rowing a boat on a foggy lake. Suddenly, another boat crashes into you. You scream, "Watch where you are going, you idiot!" You are filled with rage and stress. But then, you look closely at the other boat and realize, it is empty. It drifted away from the dock. Suddenly, your anger vanishes. Why? Because there is no one to blame. The lesson is this: all the boats are empty. The driver who cut you off? He is fighting his own battles. The rude cashier? She is tired. The rain? It is just nature. When you realize that the world is not attacking you personally, you can remain peaceful. You stop taking things personally. Part 5. Mindfulness and the Power of Now. If the monkey mind lives in the past and future, then peace lives in only one place, the present moment. Have you ever noticed that you never have a problem right now? You might have a problem that will happen in an hour. You might have a memory of a problem from yesterday. But right at this second, as you read this sentence, are you okay? Is there air to breathe? Is your heart beating? Yes. In the precise now, there is usually peace. Mindfulness is the practice of keeping your mind in the now. It is the anchor for your ship. How do we practice this? We use the senses. The mind thinks, but the body feels. The body is always in the present. Touch. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel the weight of your body on the chair. Sound. Listen to the furthest sound you can hear. Listen to the silence between the sounds. Breath. This is the most powerful tool. Your breath is the remote control for your nervous system. When you are stressed, your breathing becomes fast and shallow. This tells your brain, danger. To switch on peace, you must breathe slowly and deeply. Breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Breathe out for 6 seconds. This activates the vagus nerve, which physically slows down your heart rate and lowers your blood pressure. You cannot just think your way to peace. Sometimes you have to breathe your way there. Part 6. Letting go of the backpack. You cannot build a peaceful house if the basement is full of rotting garbage. For many of us, the garbage is resentment. We hold on to anger toward people who hurt us in the past. We replay the arguments in our head. We imagine what we should have said. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It only hurts you. It destroys your peace. Forgiveness is not saying that what the other person did was okay. It is not saying they are innocent. Forgiveness is saying, I am not going to carry this heavy rock anymore. There is a story about 2 monks. They were traveling together and came to a river with a strong current. A young woman was waiting there, afraid to cross. She asked for help. Because they were monks, they were not allowed to touch women. However, the older monk picked her up, carried her across the river, and put her down on the dry bank. Then the 2 monks continued walking. For hours the younger monk was silent but angry. Finally, he exploded. Brother, we are not allowed to touch women. How could you do that? It is a sin. The older monk looked at him and smiled. Brother, I put that woman down 4 hours ago on the riverbank. Why are you still carrying her? This is what we do. We carry people who hurt us years ago. To find peace, we must put them down. We must let the river of time wash them away. Part 7. Peace in Action. Some people think that if you are peaceful, you become lazy. You just sit on the sofa and smile. This is false. Inner peace actually makes you more effective. Think of a martial arts master. Is he frantic? Is he stressed? No. He is perfectly calm. Because he is calm, he sees everything. He moves quickly but without panic. This is a state called flow. It is the art of effortless action. When you are stressed, you make mistakes. You forget things. You are clumsy. When you are peaceful, you have laser focus. You do one thing at a time. When you wash the dishes, you just wash the dishes. You feel the warm water. You don't think about the email you need to send. When you write a report, you just write. You don't worry about the deadline. By doing one thing at a time with full attention, the mundane tasks of life become a meditation. You don't need to go to a temple to find peace. You can find it while folding laundry, walking the dog, or driving your car. Peace is not a place. It is a manner of traveling. Part 8. Cultivating the Garden. Daily Habits. Peace is not a permanent trophy. You don't get it once and keep it forever. It is a garden. You must water it every day, or the weeds of stress will grow back. Here are practical ways to maintain your architecture of peace. The morning shield. Do not look at your phone the second you wake up. When you look at your phone, you invite the world and its chaos into your bedroom before you have even brushed your teeth. Spend the first 10 minutes in quiet. Stretch. Drink water. Set an intention. Today, I will stay calm. Build your shield before you go into the battle. Nature therapy. We are biological animals. We were not designed to live in concrete boxes under fluorescent lights. Research shows that just 20 minutes in nature lowers stress hormones significantly. Go for a walk. Look at the trees. Look at the sky. Nature is never in a hurry, yet everything gets done. Connecting with nature reminds us of a slower, older rhythm. The information diet. If you eat junk food, your body gets sick. If you eat junk information, your mind gets sick. If you watch the news for 3 hours a day, you are feeding your brain fear, violence, and anger. It is impossible to be peaceful if you are consuming chaos. Protect your mind. Be careful what you let into your house. Gratitude. It is impossible to be stressed and grateful at the same time. They are incompatible emotions. When you feel your peace slipping away, stop and name 3 things you are grateful for. This shifts your brain from alert mode to safe mode. Conclusion: the sanctuary within. We spend our whole lives looking for a safe place. We build fences, we buy insurance, we save money. We want to feel secure. But the only true security is inside. The world will never be perfect. People will be rude. Plans will fail. It will rain on your wedding day. If you wait for the world to be perfect before you relax, you will wait forever. Inner peace is the decision to be happy despite the imperfections. By building this foundation, you become a lighthouse. When you are peaceful, you do not just help yourself. You help everyone around you. When a peaceful person walks into a chaotic room, the energy changes. People calm down. Your children feel safer. Your partner feels heard. Peace is contagious. So return to the architecture of your soul. Go down to the deep water. Breathe. Let go of the heavy backpack. Remember that you are the sky, and your problems are just the weather. The weather changes, but the sky remains. Start today. Take a deep breath. Drop your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Be here. You are safe. All is well.